What's up, y'all? Come on in here now. Come on in the room. Oh, Lordy. What's up, Ajane? Welcome on here, y'all. Come on in the room. Oh, Lordy. Come on in the room. Nisha, I see you made it on tonight. Welcome. Welcome. Sister Ramonda James, thank you for joining us tonight. Listen, why don't y'all go ahead and just click like and share. Go ahead and start putting it out there, letting people know what's going on. Tamoya, welcome. Corby Sorrell, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and if y'all would click like and share, I certainly would appreciate it. I'm not going to be on too late tonight. I literally just want to talk for just a few moments on the subject of communication and boundaries. Communications and boundaries. So listen, go ahead and go ahead and like it. Go ahead and share it. Send the information out there for people. Come on in the room, oh Lordy. Come on in the room. Oh, Jesus is my doctor, and he write up all my scriptures. Yeah, y'all know the song. Come on, sing it here, man. Sing it with me now. Listen, give y'all just a few more seconds. A few more people are coming on as we have this conversation tonight about relationships and boundaries. Relationships, boundaries, and communication. Some of y'all know last week we had this live where we were talking about dating over here in Holiness, and it literally went on for about an hour and a half from 2 videos. About 800 people plus were watching it, and so I want to kind of continue that. Just so you all know, what I've decided to do is to continue these conversations with B. Chris, and so what you will have the opportunity to do is send me messages to my inbox about things that you potentially want to talk about or you want talked about. This will give me the opportunity to go through the messages that you send and the requests that you send and pick out a topic for next week. So be prepared to join Conversations with B. Chris every Sunday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Once again, if you're just joining in with us, go ahead and like and share this live video tonight as we talk about communication and boundaries in the dating relationship. Last week, as we were having this conversation about, dating over here in Holiness, a word that continued to come up often was boundaries. We just got to set boundaries. But I started figuring it out and looking through this, and I was trying to figure out what exactly do people mean when they say boundaries. But I understand this much, that boundaries start first through having a conversation. And so tonight we're going to look at this issue, first of all, of effectively communicating in relationships, because I think oftentimes what happens is that we have the inability to be honest and transparent in our communications, and because we lack or because we fail to communicate exactly what it is that we're looking for, exactly what it is that we want from a relationship or dating or whatever, then one party ends up getting hurt because they come in with one level of expectation, when as the other person comes in with something totally different. Hey guys, thanks for joining. If you go ahead and like and share this, I certainly would appreciate it. And so let's just start off with this matter of communication and relationship, because we understand that open, honest communication literally pushes us to have healthy relationships, because we're able to express things that are on our hearts. We're able to express things that are on our mind, and it allows us then the opportunity or ability to create or foster this place where we can have truthfulness in our relationships. So on this communication piece, I want to look at a couple things. I want to give you guys a few tips, and then we'll move forward into the boundaries piece, because I feel that that was something that got talked about a lot. Give me just 1 second, y'all. I got some people that are sending me messages already to my inbox. I can't necessarily address those specific things that you were talking about right now, but I do want you to know that I have received them, and we will be looking at those things and addressing them at a later date. So, like I was saying, I want to go ahead and look at these issues of communication first. First of all, when you're in relationships, there is, of course, a different level of communication that you have dating to marriage. And so these are kind of interchangeable just a little bit. But you want to make sure that when you are communicating, and this is from my married folks and my folks that are in relationships, that you're finding the right time to communicate. Sometimes it's not about wanting to talk as much as it is finding the right time to talk. And I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and I said to her this. I said, listen, when I'm watching the game is not the best time to want to talk to me, because I'm not going to hear what it is that you're trying to say, especially if my team is losing. And in the same token, fellas, if she watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, bruh, she not hearing you. If she on the elliptical machine working out, she not hearing you. So we need to be able to find the best time to communicate so that the person that you are talking to is able to hear you, and they're able to process what you have to say. The other thing that we need to do is make sure that when you communicate, you're doing it face to face. Now, I understand this, that we are in this social media text generation, and I'm horrible for it. I love to text for whatever reason. It's easier for me to text because I don't have to deal with the awkward, all right, I'll holler at you later, goodbyes. But talking face to face is going to be so crucial. Why? Because when you're talking to me face to face, then I get to see your facial expressions. I get to hear the tone of your voice. And I believe sometimes if you're me, your face just communicates the story. So face-to-face conversations are always important as opposed to something via text. The other thing that you need to be mindful of when you are having your conversations is that you are not attacking. Oftentimes, whenever we are having communications or we're talking with someone and we put them in a defensive situation, then we never have the positive results that we're looking for in our conversation. And so you never want to attack. You never want to attack the person. You never want to start off saying, you need to do this and you need to do that. And if you would just do this, then we'd be all right. No, hold on. Maybe you can use some statements like we or us. If using comments like that then does not put a person in such a defensive mode where they feel like you're attacking them. And then you're actually able to have the conversation, because most of the time when a person feels attacked, they shut down. I don't know about y'all, but when I feel attacked in a conversation, I shut down. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Listen, you might as well just keep your mouth quiet, because I'm not trying to hear you no more. The other thing that you need to do is you just need to be honest in your communication. Express how you feel. Let it out. Like if you are in a situation where you can't be honest with the person about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, then that's a situation you may want to reconsider, because honesty in a relationship is really so key. It's so paramount. The other thing that you can do when you're communicating, I know I'm kind of running through these quick because I really want to deal with these boundaries tonight, is body language. Checking your body language. Ladies, if you sitting there like this when he trying to talk to you, okay, you letting him know you ain't trying to hear it, okay? So check your body language, because your body is talking way louder than your mouth is. Not just your arms, but even your facial expressions. I'll be honest, it's funny. Someone walked into the church today and they said, they walked in my office after church. They said, "Pastor, are you okay?" And I said, yeah, I'm good. What's going on? Yeah, what's up? She's like, no, Pastor, are you good for real? And I said, I'm a little frustrated. She said, yeah, I can tell, because your face is telling me that you're frustrated. And so we have to watch our body language when we communicate. And then here's the last part that I want to deal with on this whole matter of communication and dating relationships. is that we have to be careful to use what's called the 48-hour rule. If the person that you're talking to, that you're dating, does something that makes you angry or upset, then you need to tell them about it. But here's the thing that you don't want to do it right away, because you're upset, you're frustrated, and you might say something that can make the situation worse. So generally, you kind of want to wait 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? If you're still upset after that 48-hour mark, then you definitely want to say something at that point. Because at that point, you calmed yourself down, you thought a little bit about it, and you're able to articulate it in such a way that you don't cause more hurt or harm to the other person. All right. So those are just some of my communication things that we need to look at as far as relationships. But here's the biggie. Here's the thing that I really want to talk a lot about tonight, and that is this matter of boundaries. And so if you're just joining, go ahead once again and like and share this. But I want to talk about boundaries and establishing or setting boundaries in relationships. I oftentimes look at it like this, that communication in relationship is me exposing myself. Communication is me opening my heart, my mind up to you. However, boundaries then becomes the respect that you have for what I've now exposed to you. And so, as we talked about last week, setting boundaries, people did somewhat good, if you will, about setting boundaries in some ways. So they start throwing out stuff like, oh, well, we need to meet in the daytime at 2:00. I don't need to go to your house. We don't need to do this. And all those are great. But I think that we need to really set boundaries in 3 areas. And these are 3 areas that I'm going to talk about tonight. And then I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go in my room and go to sleep, because I got in at 2:00 this morning from my travels this week. So the first area that we need to establish boundaries are in the area of our emotions, emotional boundaries. Because I think oftentimes in relationships, hey, Wayne, glad you could hop on tonight. One of the areas that we lose boundaries quick is in this area of emotions. Emotions run away with us. And in particular, when someone uses that big L word, they get to say, oh, honey, I love you. Now, listen, if y'all are honest with me, y'all will say that when you hear someone say, I love you, it evokes some level of, hey, Elizabeth, thanks for jumping on. Pastor D. Henderson III, glad you can make it on. If you stay on here long enough, you know I'm going to call you and have you talk on this. But listen, when you start hearing that word, I love you, fly, then this oftentimes causes emotions for people, and it causes us to go to places emotionally that we probably did not want to go to. And so I think it's important in relationships and in dating situations that we are very clear when setting your boundaries as it relates to the L word. You need to let that person know how that made you feel. But in the same token, you also need to be open and honest with them and saying, listen, I'm not there yet. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a situation where they've said, I love you, and you kind of like skirt around it, and you don't really address it, and then they thinking you feeling the same way too. No. And so you need to set that boundary emotionally as far as that word is concerned, so that when they address that issue, when that happens, when y'all allow them to date and y'all having some steak and lobsters, and he didn't, y'all didn't got fine champagne or ginger ale, whatever it is that you choose to drink, and they mess around and say, baby, I'm in love with you. You don't just get so overcome with emotional, say, baby, I love you too. I love you too, baby. I just love you. Knowing you're lying. I'm just saying. How many of us get caught in the heat of the moment, that just in the moment, I love you, that just messes it up, because now you've crossed this boundary and you ain't in love. You don't even know his name. How you going to be in love? So we want to set the emotional boundaries, especially with that word love, because love triggers emotions. And generally in triggering those emotions, it takes us to places that we don't want to go. The other thing that you want to do in establishing emotional boundaries, is to look at this matter of time. How much time you spend together and how much time you spend apart. There are some couples, they're so cute. You see them and they're together all the time, and they're just like warm and fuzzy, and they're dressing alike, and they're just finishing each other's sentences, and they're just all cute and cuddly like new puppies and newborn babies. Yeah, that's cute for a second here, but let's be real. I need to have some time apart, because I need some time to do some things that I like to do without you being around me. I don't need you to be all close up on me. I need my space, and people need their space in relationships. And so that is, I'm not talking about you and Lady Bree, Pastor D, but I'm just, it's a reality. People need time away, because I need time to detox my emotions, detox my feelings. Yes, we had a wonderful time. We hung out. But now, listen, I'm gonna go take a day and I'm gonna go play basketball. I don't need you there talking about, oh, you so cute when you sweating. Oh, you smell funny, but I just love you. No, because what you're trying to evoke some emotions. Fellas, we don't need to be there when, you know what I'm saying? We went out, we had a great date. Now you just want to be around her. Can I go grocery shopping with you? Nah, bruh. Go play basketball with the boys. It's okay. Go shoot pool. But we have to establish these boundaries on the emotional side. But we have to communicate those. We have to say, listen, I feel you. You love me, and I think you're a great person. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Yes, I love hanging out with you. But listen, I need some time to myself to go do laundry. Listen, we've been hanging out for a week. I got to go wash the dishes at the house, you know. So space. Yes, amen to space, Sister Yolanda. I need my space. I don't need you around me 24/7 all the days of the week. If we married, it's one thing, but if we just dating, bruh, sis, I don't need you. I don't need you all up in my. Can I get a little space? Just a little space. The next area that we need to look at setting boundaries in are physical. Is physical. As it relates to physical boundaries, you understand this much, that it is okay to take your time. I'm going to say it again. It is okay to take your time. There is no need to rush into anything. And I think one of the things that happens or causes problems in dating situations is there's always the rush. We're just in a hurry to do things. Now watch. Here was something that was said last week that was interesting, because we began to talk about this dating with a purpose. And I think sometimes when dating with a purpose, it causes us to rush into things, because grandmama said that you're not getting no older. You need to bring me some great grandbabies, or mama want grandkids, or you feel like your time clock internally is ticking, or brothers, you feel like you're behind on your time schedule. And so we rush into relationships, never actually taking the time to get to know somebody. Before you even know her last name, her middle name, you immediately talking about, will you marry me because I'm in love? Bruh. If you don't have several seats, find the biggest stadium in the world and have several seats. I need you to get to just know people. Do we just get to know people these days before we rush? Like I was talking to another friend of mine. I said, you know, it is amazing to me how fast relationship. For God's sake, please don't rush. You miss important. Listen. You miss all kinds of important things when you rush, because you feel like your time, you feel like your time clock is running out. You got the rest of your life. And so you don't ever want to get yourself in a situation where things are happening that you are, listen, Pastor David, that only applies when you married. When you dating, listen, you need some time apart. Listen. I need time apart just to get to know me. So back to this physical thing. Take your time. Don't rush into anything. If you're not ready to be in that relationship, don't let someone pressure you into a relationship. Don't let someone push you to just be with them just for the sake of being with them. No, you need to take your time. You need to get to know each other. You need to have conversations. Listen, before you get to the point where you're talking about a wedding ring, I need to know, do your breath stink when you talk, period. And is it because you didn't floss afterward? I need to know these things because after I say I do, it's too late. Okay, and so you need to take your time getting to know the person. You need to take your time getting to know what it is that you want out of the situation and what they want. That's why that communication piece is so important, because if in those beginning stages you don't take the time to get to know exactly what that person is looking for and exactly what you're looking for, then you'll rush into something and wake up in the morning and go, what in the world have I gotten? This is nothing what I was looking for. Oh my goodness. This young man is totally not what I was looking for. This young lady has nothing, absolutely nothing that I want in a relationship. But because you didn't take your time to get to know that person, you didn't take your time. There you go. There you go. There you go, Pastor D. Because you didn't take the time to actually get to know that person and get to know their wants, get to know their desires. Because you didn't take the time to get to know what it was that you were looking for and that what you wanted in a relationship. You just jumped into something just because. Who was it? Was it Ashanti? I think it was. Maybe she said, "I'm so sick of being lonely every night." And you just rushing. You just rushing. And so, as far as physical boundaries in a relationship, you need to take your time. The next thing that you need to do is we need to do on both sides, male and females, is we need to understand that sex is not a currency. Sex is not. Let me say it again. Sex is not currency. And so you don't ever have to feel like because you took me on the date, well, I got to pay you back. No. You should never feel like you owe the person that you're dating anything just because they do something for you. Like, and if you're in a situation where you're being pressured like that, then get yourself out of that situation. Especially for us that name the name of Christ. We holy people. We're not having sex before marriage anyway. So you should never get into a situation where then sex becomes the currency for which you pay somebody back. No, if that be the case, when y'all dating, go Dutch. You pay for you, I pay for me. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What you say, Elizabeth? Hold on. Sometimes folks so busy trying to impress somebody, they aren't true to themselves and then wonder what the issue is. Stop it. You certainly right. So first of all, you need to take your time. Get to know the person. Go out, hang out, do some public stuff. Go shoot pool. You see them in different environments. Okay, stop with all this Netflix and chill on the first and second date. Take your time, get to know somebody, get to know a little bit about them before you just rush into the relationship. And then once you do get in a relationship, understand that sex is not a currency. This last area that I'm going to cover, and then I'm getting ready to go to bed, y'all, is a big one. Digital boundaries. People don't set digital boundaries. What do you mean by digital boundaries, B. Chris? This is what I mean by digital boundaries. People, what'd you say? Hold on one second. God gave Adam a helpmeet. Meat derives from purpose. He did not give Adam a helpmeet, which derives from pleasure. So Eve was brought to Adam to fulfill Adam's life to fulfill purpose. I can't read all this because I'm on this here. My phone screen just not. I'm going to go back and read in a second. I'll respond to it, Pastor D. This last area, digital boundaries. Somebody asked me earlier, was that a typo? Did you make a mistake? No, I didn't make a mistake. Digital boundaries are important. Digital boundaries are those things that you do as it relates to your social media. Now that Facebook allows you to put, if you're in a relationship in it, people just be in a quick uproar to put in a relationship with. The problem with that is you in a relationship with them today, and then tomorrow y'all not together, and because you put it out there to the world, then people like, What happened? Where'd that go? And so if you set digital boundaries, you begin to say to yourself and begin to have the conversation that says, when is it okay for me to tag you in something or check you in something? Is it ever okay for me to tag you in a post? Is it ever okay for us to go out and I tag you that we are out together at Denny's at 10 o'clock at night? You need to make sure that is understood between the two of you, if that's okay. You need to know. You all need to communicate. Is it okay that we post our relationship status? When do we post? Listen, I was talking to a young lady once before, and we decided that we were going to be together, and she immediately posted on her Facebook that she was in a relationship with me. And, you know, this is what I love about Facebook. Facebook gives us the opportunity to approve that. Thanks be to God. Because, listen, we just got together. We don't know if we're going to last. And so this becomes something that you need to talk about. In this social media age, everybody wants to just brag about what they got going on. So they want to quickly be able to put that they're in a relationship. But listen, relationships lived out through social media are generally superficial. And so we need to have this conversation from the jump about, can I tag you in a post? Can I check in with you? Can we put our relationship status on Facebook? Watch this. Here's a big one. Is it okay for me to follow your friends? Is it okay for me to friend your friends? For me personally, I'm going to say no. Ain't no need for you to be following my friend. Don't get spooky pooky on me. You know, but this is a conversation that you need to have. I know it's crazy because you would think I don't need to do it, but, you know, these are conversations they need to be had. Here is another one as it relates to relationships. When is it okay for me to text you? And then what is the expectation as it relates to me returning your text message? Watch this. Here's the crazy thing. The people who have iPhones, we have this beautiful thing that when I send you a message and you look at it, it tells me when you read it. Same thing with Facebook and even Instagram and some of these other social media social media situations. But when we're in a relationship or we're talking, then we need to talk about that. Like, okay, I need you to know that it's not okay for you to text me at 6 o'clock in the morning. And if you do text me at 6 o'clock in the morning, if it wakes me up, I'm going to look at it and I'm going back to bed. Whoa, Denise, you just said a major one right there. Don't just up and video chat me. Like, text me, see what I'm doing. I could be up in the morning brushing my teeth, just rolled out of the bed. But you feel like because we're in a relationship, just because you video call me, I'm supposed to respond to you immediately. It don't work that way. Listen, I could be busy. I could be involved with something at work or anything. But just because you text me or you called me, if I did not come to you right away or did not respond to you right away, don't be over there getting mad. Then you be talking about, I called you 3 times and then I sent you 14 text messages and you just ignoring me. Ain't nobody ignoring you. I was in the meeting. You need to be patient. That's what it is. That's what this comes down to. So you need to have these conversations about, okay, what my day looks like so that I know what's going on. They know what's going on, so they're not just randomly getting mad because you're not responding to something and feeling like you ignoring them. Here's another big one as it relates to setting digital boundaries. Is it okay to use each other's phones? iPads. Listen, it's not okay for you to just pick up my phone. No, I'm not going to give you my passcodes. No, I'm not going to give you the passcodes to my email. And it's not a matter of me not trusting you and you not wanting to trust me. It's not because I'm cheating, but here's the deal. Where's my level of privacy? But that's a conversation you just need to have, because you got some people who feel like, well, if we together, you know, they get into this whole piece about what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine, and so I should be able to just anytime I feel like it. No, you don't. That's what you not going to be doing today. Okay. But watch this. If you don't have that level of conversation in the beginning and set those type of boundaries that say that's not okay with me, then once again, you got one person in their mind thinking that it's okay to do it and you feeling violated. Watch this. Communication is me exposing to you my wants, my dreams, my thoughts, my feelings. Boundaries are you respecting what I have exposed to you. But if you do not have the communication to talk about that and to expose those things, to say to them, listen, you can't have the passwords to my Instagram, my Facebook, my MySpace, my Twitter, my email. No, I'm not giving you the passcode to my phone. We just not there yet. Our relationship is not that point right now that I'm just gonna just give that to you. You're not paying my bills. You're not providing for a roof over my head. You're not doing any of those things. So no, it's not the time for me to. No, bro, we ain't doing that. Here's the other thing. As we are talking about setting these boundaries, sometimes we need to set the boundaries on even this matter of pictures and things because you know people will send you these selfies, right? And first it'd be just them little cute little selfies like I'm at the beach or bam, snapshot, I'm at work. But then the next thing you know, here come a little bit more provocative ones. And if you don't check that, then here come these selfies that now become sexting. Because they feel comfortable with it, because you have not set the boundaries and you have not said that it is not okay to send me pictures like that. It's not okay for you to have levels of communication like that. And oftentimes people become way more comfortable in texting situations than they will in a talking conversation. And so they will try to push the limits with you as far as your boundaries are concerned to see if it's okay. And if you don't check that off the muscle, then you'll get a selfie. Next thing you know, you get a picture of something else. And if you never check it and you never say, I'm not good with that, I'm not cool, listen, you've pushed this envelope too far, and if you do it again, we done with, then they just keep going. And they keep pushing and they keep pushing. And now your boundaries have been violated. Now you feel disrespected and you feel uncomfortable. But because you didn't establish proper communication from the jump, you sitting there trying to figure out how do I handle this? How do I handle it? You handle it by being clear and upfront from the beginning based on what it is that you are looking for and what it is they're looking for. If a man comes to you and he says to you, listen, I'm trying to get married. I'm trying to do something good with my life. I'm trying to live wholesome. I'm trying to live right. Then it's not okay, bruh. It's not okay, bruh, for you to come trying to whisper in my ear, getting all close. Would you woo, woo, woo? No, you ain't no woo, woo, wooing. We can say amen together. We can pray together. We can hang out together. But all this up in here, you stay up out of this area. None of this region is for you. This is off limit. Y'all know that song. What was it? Trinity 5:7. My body is the Lord's temple. Don't mess with me. Listen. That you can say that when you set those proper boundaries, yo. So all I'm saying to us tonight, as it relates to these conversations with B. Chris, as it relates to dating and relationship, is first of all, you got to have clear communication. You have got to be honest in your communication. You have got to say what it is that you are looking for. You have to pick the right time to talk. Don't talk when the football game is going on. Don't talk when she's watching her shows. Stop trying to talk to people when they on the phone. You know they're not listening. And then you get mad at them. Don't do that. You have to communicate. Communication in relationship is extremely important. Because if you do not articulate what it is that you're looking for, and they do not articulate and hear what you are saying with clarity, then you will find yourself frustrated because they have not fulfilled what it is that you're looking for. But that's because you didn't properly articulate it. If you're not feeling good today, say that. Don't let them sit there and just keep thinking what they're doing is cute. Say, listen, it's getting on my nerves. Don't do that anymore. So communication is key. Communication is key. I'm going to say it again. Communication is key. But then the second side of that, like we just talked about, these three areas of setting boundaries in our dating and our relationships, you have to set the emotional boundaries. You cannot allow a person to come across your boundaries emotionally, dropping that L word, wanting to always be in your space. You cannot allow somebody to do that to you, because then it messes you up emotionally and it will take you somewhere that you don't want to go. And then all of a sudden you just fell in love. How did you get here? Because you didn't tell him that you wasn't in love with him. When he said he loved you, you didn't say, listen, I'm not feeling that right there. How did he get here? Because y'all was spending time together every day, all day. And either that brought y'all closer together and pushed you further than you wanted to go, or it made you hate the person. So get you some space, get you some time apart, get a hobby, get a dog, get some friends, get a life, okay? Next of all, like I said, set these physical boundaries. Understand this, that you need to take your time. Do not rush into stuff. If you're not ready, say you're not ready. Baby, I just love you so much and I'm just ready to be in a relationship. I'm not ready for that. Listen, what is your last name? What's your first name? Okay, yeah. Until I get to know those down packed in my mind, we ain't there yet. Next of all, understand that sex is not a currency. Set the physical boundary. Let it be known. Thank you for taking me out on a date. I got my own money, okay? I got my own car. Listen, you ain't got to drive me. You don't got to pick me up. I will meet you there. I'm going to pay. We be good. Holla. See you later. And then set those digital boundaries. Have those conversations, because what you don't want is you don't want them to be thinking something and then they checking you in at Facebook. All your friends are like, who is that girl? You had lunch with him? Ooh, what's going on with y'all? None of your business, because ain't nothing going on. Listen, I love y'all so much. I got to go. Remember, every Sunday night, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock on the West Coast, 11 o'clock on the East Coast and all them other coasts and things, join me here, Facebook Live, for Conversations with B. Chris. If there's a topic that you want to talk about, it's something that we can discuss on Sunday nights. They say it's grown folk conversation. It could be whatever. There is nothing that I won't talk about. Finances, relationships, racism in the church, divide in the church. We could deal with it all. So send those requests to my inbox. And I'll get looking on them, and you always know in advance what we're going to be talking about.